So today we are reading from the first canto of the Bhagavatam. So it's the first chapter. The chapter title is Prayers of Queen Kuntī. And the verse is the 34th? Fifth. Bhave asmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi shravanam smaranam arhani karishyan iti kechanam bhavesvin kshilamananam avidya kama karma bihi shravana smaranarani karishyan iti kechanam bhave in material creation. Asmin, this, Klishyamananam, of those who are suffering from. Avidya, nascenence. Kama, desire. Karma bihi, by execution of fruitive work. Shravanam, hearing. Smaranam, remembering. Arhani, worshipping. Karishyan, may perform. Iti, thus. Kecana, others. And yet others say that you appeared in order to renovate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned soul suffering from the material pangs might have advantage and gain liberation. Please repeat. And yet others say that. You appeared in order to renovate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. Thank you so much. Purport of Srila Prabhupada. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Lord assessed that He appears in every millennium just to re-establish the way of religion. The way of religion is made by the Supreme Lord. No one can manufacture a new path of religion as is the fashion for certain ambitious persons. The factual way of religion is to accept the Lord as the supreme authority and thus render service unto Him in spontaneous love. A living being cannot help but render service because he is constitutionally made for that purpose. The only function of the living being is to render service to the Lord. The Lord is great, and living beings are subordinate to Him. Therefore, the duty of living being is just to serve Him only. Unfortunately, the illusioned living beings, out of misunderstanding only, became servants of the senses by material desire. This desire is called avidya or nescience. And out of such illegitimate desire, the living being makes different plans for material enjoyment centered about prevented sex life. He therefore becomes entangled in the chain of birth and death by transmitting into different bodies on different planets under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Unless, therefore, one is beyond the boundary of this nescience, one cannot get free from the threefold miseries of material life. That is the law of nature. The Lord, however, out of his causeless mercy, because he is more merciful to the suffering living beings than they can expect, appears before them and renovates the principles of devotional service, comprised of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping, praying, cooperating, and surrendering unto him. Adoption of all the above-mentioned items, or any of them, can help a conditioned soul get out of the tangle of nescience and thus become liberated from all material suffering created by the living being illusioned by the external energy. This particular type of mercy is bestowed upon the living being by the Lord in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langete Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Niratarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. I forgot. Om Jnana Timirandasya Dhanandala Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So, this prayer is said by Queen Kuntī. So we all know Kunti Devi. She's the mother of the Pandavas and auntie of Kṛṣṇa. So she went through all these hardships, what the Pandavas went through. I think there is no need to get into details for that. So, and she's here now after the Battle of Kurukshetra war, and all of her grandsons were slain by Ashwatthama. So, in this condition, she meets Kṛṣṇa and offers him some of the very beautiful prayers in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So, generally speaking, when things like that happen to people, they don't exactly say that these prayers of God, but she sees things from a different perspective, from a different level of consciousness. Because in reality, it is the consciousness that makes people see things in one way or another. I come back to this topic a little bit later. So in his prayers, she speaks about how to know Kṛṣṇa, how lucky she is, which is quite an ordinary thing. That she's saying that, yeah, I'm very lucky. Just all of my grandsons were killed yesterday, so I'm so lucky. So she's speaking some qualities that makes the Lord accessible, which is also a very important thing. And the nature of the Lord, how unknowable the nature of the Lord is, and sometimes the nature of the Lord is like very confusing. And from the 32nd verse, she gives a reflection on the birth of the Lord. So we are now here when she tells us a very interesting thing. We usually say or mention three things: Krishna mentions these three things in the Bhagavad Gita as to why he descends into this material world. It's in the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, Pranitraya Sadhunam, Hare Krishna. Everyone knows this verse. So, for first thing he says is the deliverance of the devotees. Jai Shri Nṛsiṁhadeva ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. So the second thing is Vinashayana Chadushkritam. So for annihilation of the evil people. And the third thing he says is the Dharma Samstapana Arthaya. So they re-establish the principles of religion. But in this prayer, Kunti, she's saying something different. She's saying, nah, this is marketing. What he's saying, Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. So the truth is that he is coming to help the conditioned souls with bhakti. So it's not the deliverance of the devotees, it's helping the conditioned souls, everyone. I mean, not just the devotees, everyone. So all of them, no exceptions, from most pious to the most evil person, at least from his side. There are no distinctions. Because of these different levels, there are different levels of consciousness, and because of this, some with the wicked consciousness of the living beings in the material world makes them see things differently, and it often makes them or us see things different from the reality. So what is beautiful for one person is like disgusting for the other, and what is attractive for one, it is disgusting for another. So because of the soul in this material world is conditioned, the perception is conditioned too. So what we see is based on our condition. So Krishna knows this very well. I mean, he designed the game we are in. So he made the rules, and he knows perfectly how this material world works, how material consciousness works. And in the same time, he is very, very, very kind. What Srila Prabhupada is saying in this purport, and also Kuntī Devi is saying in her prayers. So he knows that the living entities here in this material world are suffering. So he is determined to help them, to help us. So to help them or help us, he makes these tricks. He knows that everyone is attracted to something: wealth, beauty, knowledge, majesty, and of course power. So he knows all these things, and he's also Bhagavan. So he can make himself attractive by manifesting these things, these bhagas, this wealth and majesty and power and so on. So he makes himself attractive for us, and sometimes he makes himself unattractive to us. There is no problem because the goal is the same, so that people will talk about him. And this is what Kuntī Devi is saying here. So people will talk and hear about him. And did this ring a bell? No. I mean, this is a question. If hearing and talking about Krishna rang a bell. Huh? A verse or something? So what are these? Shravanam Kirtanam. I think anyone knows this. These limbs are bhakti. So talking about Krishna and hearing about Krishna and remembering about Krishna, these are the limbs of bhakti. I mean, 3 main limbs. So what does bhakti do? Yeah, that's a side effect. Yeah, it cleans consciousness and it elevates consciousness. And with the elevation of consciousness, the perception will change. So the living being or living entity is begin to see his relationship with Krishna in a different way. And this is the meaning. So because the more clearly one perceives reality, the stronger the emotions will be. So, and the attraction and attachment will grow stronger and stronger. So in the beginning of the 2nd canto, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Goswami is talking about the glories of the bhakti-yoga. And he's saying that you want to fulfill your material desires, no problem, just do bhakti. You want to get liberated, no problem, just do bhakti. Because he knows that practicing of the devotional service will cure these desires. And the bhakti is a process what heals itself. So nothing additional is needed. So then one may ask a question, why does Krishna manifest himself in so many forms? Why does Krishna manifest himself in the material world at all? I mean, so this is the answer. To provide bhakti, provide material for bhakti, and to help the living entities to have to get out from this horrible material world. So vinashaya cha dushkritam, the annihilation of evil people. So that's one thing also. So there is no need for him to come to this material world to do this. I mean, he's like, he's playing his flute in Vrindavan, and just he lifts his eyebrow once, and just job is done. Hiranyakashipu is gone, or whoever is gone. He doesn't even have to raise the eyebrow. He could kill with his thought. So, but no, he comes, and he comes in not once, he comes in many times and in many different forms. So, not just in the form of Krishna who plays the flute, because this form may be attractive to someone, but maybe is not to others. So, but this is not only the form, because we talk about Bhagavan. So there is, of course, Rupa, the form, but there are also Nama, the name, and Guna, the qualities, the characteristic features, and of course Lila, the pastimes. And these are pretty much connected. And meditation meditation can be achieved through these things. So you can meditate on nama, you can meditate on rupa, on guna, and on lila. So Kṛṣṇa says also in the Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter, she says, whatever state of being one remembers when he quits the body, or son of Kuntī, that state he will attain without fail. So he's telling us the formula how to get out from this material world, and you see that. See that he's also always remembering the devotee. He calls in this verse in the Bhagavad Gita Arjuna Kaunteya, so son of Kuntī. So he remembering Kuntī in this way. Anyway, so remembering or meditation is important. He's saying, with your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without no doubt. So this is the formula. So he's saying, do your duties, remember me, and remember me constantly, and never forget me. So through these pastimes, he gains countless names. Like Nṛsiṁhadeva has countless names. And those names are often describe some qualities also. So that closes the circle. Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Lila. So it fuels our remembrance. So that the deity, at the deity greeting, we are singing his 108 names. Nṛsiṁhadeva's 108 names. And some of the names describes his qualities, some his form, and some the lila. So here is, for example, Stambhajana. So we heard from Prabhu the story of Nṛsiṁhadeva a couple of days ago. He is coming out of the pillar, the stamba. So he was born in the stambhajana, and he comes out of this pillar, and so one of these names is this stambhajana, and who is appeared from the pillar. And so we also heard that he was like very, very angry. That is why he is called Rudraya. It's also on the list. And because of because he was so angry, he was like roaring very loudly. So he is called Kolahalaya. He's very roaring, very angry. Hare Krishna. So this was the first thing what how the demigods learned about the fact that something is going on. Because it was not just a simple roar. It was it could be heard through the entire universe. It was so loud when he was coming out of the pillar, and then he became visible, and Hiranyakashipu saw this anger personified, and Nṛsiṁhadeva was so angry that the flames burst from every single hair of his body. So this is why he's called Mahajvalaya. Jvala is like flames. The great blazing one. And of course, he has a lion head, so he has a mane. So we were talking about quite a lot of hair. And so he's also called Jvala Maline, because this Jvala, these flames, were his garlands. So this is another name from the list, is Jvala Maline. One is garlanded with flames. And although he was very fearful, Ghora Vikramaya, because he was the one of terrifying exploits. But he was also called Aghoraya. So Ghora is like fearful, to make someone fearful. But Aghora, he was also Aghora. So this is completely different. He was Aghora for Prahlad. Aghora means non-terrible. He was not terrible for the devotees. So we see that everyone perceived him according to their own level of consciousness. The Hiranyakashipu and the Asuras were very fearful. So for them, he was Ghora Vikramaya. But for the devotee, for Prahlad, he was Aghora. And of course, because he was so angry, it was very difficult to behold for the rest of the people who were there. So this is why he is called Durnirikshaya. So it's very hard to see, very hard to blaze on him, or glance on him, sorry. And of course, there was Hiranyakashipu. So he is also in the Leela, and because of him, Nṛsiṁhadeva has also one name. It's Hiranyakashipu Dvanshine. So the destroyer of Hiranyakashipu. And so on. So we don't have time to explain all his 108 names, and there are even more names. There are also 1,000 names, like Vishnu Sahasranama. You know, I mean, the yoga students all know this Vishnu Sahasranama. There are also Nṛsiṁha Sahasranam. And it's only Nṛsiṁhadeva. I mean, Kṛṣṇa appears in unlimited forms, and I mean it unlimited. So unlimited form has unlimited name, unlimited qualities, and also unlimited leelas, unlimited pastimes. So because that, we heard from Ramananda Gopal Prabhu that the story, that's only one story. And we didn't even hear the whole story because had no time to explain all the details of the story when Nṛsiṁhadeva appears. And so what we heard that day, or we're hearing today, is just the grain of sand in the desert. So it was not the complete story. And the story has a prequel also. So the prequels are not Netflix's or HBO's original idea. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Goswami did it like 5,000 years ago, this prequel thing. He did prequel and sequel and spin-off also, all those things. And we have it all. So we made so we don't have enough time now just to tell only one pastime. It's only one pastime. It's not all Kṛṣṇa and Varaha and Matsya and Kurma and everyone. We don't have time to tell only one pastime during these days. And there is Ananta. So Ananta means unlimited. Ananta Shesh, yesterday there was Ananta Shesh behind Nṛsiṁhadeva, if you remember, the snake with the unlimited head. So Ananta has unlimited head, and because of that he has unlimited mouth. And he's singing these pastimes from time immemorial. And he will sing it in the future, and it never comes to an end. So it's sure that is something for anyone there. And because of this, no one can escape. Because as Kuntī Devi is saying in her prayers, Kṛṣṇa is unlimitedly merciful. Is not just has unlimited pastimes, but he is also unlimitedly merciful. And he wants to save the living beings, the living entities, from the suffering of this material world. This is why he's manifesting all these unlimited names, force, and qualities and leelas, to provide a foundation for everyone to remember him. And through these remembrance, one can just leave this material world as soon as possible. So thank you very much for your kind attention, and thank you so much for the devotees in Simhachalam letting me share my thoughts on Nṛsiṁhadeva and Kṛṣṇa, and please pray for me that I can come back as soon as possible. So thank you so much, and if you have any corrections, please correct me. Or we have some more time if you have any questions, I mean, in regard to this topic or whatever. Okay. Okay, if there is no question, then I thank you for your kind attentions, and thank you for letting me speak. So, Prahlad Lakshmi Nṛsiṁhadeva ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Mandali ki jai, Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.